In this next section, we are going to look at a very fascinating project or concept, and that's one of clicking. And we've seen that before using on-click listeners in jQuery. But how does this work in Angular? And the notes or the documentation gives you a nice example of what ngClick entails. Now, ngClick allows you to specify custom behavior when an element is clicked. And this could be maybe a button, right? So let's have a button in here that says click me. And our goal is to design something such that when clicked, we have a basic alert that gets shown. And let's refresh our web page. And there we are. Right now it does nothing. So what we shall do is we shall put in the ngClick attribute. In the documentation, a lot of these attributes are defined using ng and an uppercase click. And this is something quite deep in Angular. What Angular does is it converts or looks for, it breaks these words together or breaks them apart. So ng is broken up, and then a dash is added, and the C of click is made lowercase. So you see things like ng click. And in here, we could put a simple alert, which is a JavaScript. It's part of the native DOM. So we shall say hello. And let's save that and refresh and see what happens. So when we click that, right now we are not getting any proper feedback. So after doing a bit of research, we actually could pass a function here in our ngClick, and then we define it within our controller. So let's get rid of the code from before so that it's clean. All right, so there we are. So it is a function that we define here, and when we refresh, we can right click and inspect and see what happens. That's it. Then when you click, there's a hi that gets posted out here. Now, something I haven't yet shown you is how to do logging. We could do a bit of logging as well. So let's log and say, hi, I have been clicked. When we refresh and go into our console and click this, notice that hi, I've been clicked is one of the results that is being returned to us. So suppose we want to do something else with our clicker, and let's follow the example closely here in the Angular documentation. In the Angular documentation, there's an example which is used to increment a certain value which is being stored in count, the variable. And what happens is when it is clicked, we get some stuff produced. So let's do that. So we'll provide ngClick, and in here we'll have a count equals count plus 1. So what this does is every time it is clicked, the count is incremented by 1. And we could provide initial values, and that's where the ng-init or initializer comes in. It is used to provide an initial value. Now we can set it to 0, and when we go to the bottom of this page, we can have a span and perhaps a TT, just to make it look a bit geeky. Let's have that show the value of our count. There we are. And let's just add the word increment so the button has an appropriate name. When we save that and keep incrementing, notice the value below that gets increased. Now for your assignment, and this is a part of several cool assignments that you could work on. Can you design a button that will possibly be alongside here, and that will be called decrement, such that every time we click decrement, its value will reduce. And well, if it's 0, it will keep reducing to -1, -2, and so on. It keeps doing that. Well, good luck with that assignment.